following is a production of Watlington Shires and Pierce Productions.
Everybody, welcome to the inaugural Coach Nick Brown Show, live here from the Pizzeria, brought to you by Sabine State Bank. It's the counselor, Stephen Shires. On the other side is, come on, Ref, Larry Pierce. And, of course, the man, the hour in the middle, Coach Nick Brown. Coach, welcome to our first show.
Thank you, guys. This is awesome.
Yeah. And so we're at the pizzeria, so we get pizzas.
Mm-hmm.
Under the prior administration, it was pepperoni extra crispy, which was good.
Yeah. Sure.
But now we have a man of my own heart.
Uh-huh.
Meat
lovers guy. It's a meat lovers, yeah.
So here on our left is the Coach Brown pizza. We'll probably have that gracing us every week, which is going to be the.
We need some jalapeno and onions on it.
That's right.
That does sound good.
Yeah, it does. We can do that. The meat lovers. Tonight is our pizza tonight that we could not wait, but we've been chowing into it. This is a chicken and spinach Alfredo pizza, something a little different.
See, I haven't had the white sauce yet.
Oh, well,
I haven't tried it yet.
There you go.
All right.
And the broccoli crust, too, they have that here on the cauliflower crust, I'm sorry. They have that here as well, and their lasagna, and the salads are just, you can't beat the price on a good salad right there in here.
The pizzeria is the one thing. We got porticools and pizzeria. People that move away, they come back. They make a pilgrimage back to center to come to the pizzeria. So we're going to hear from pizzeria along with Sabine State Bank. That's Steve Waters. For all your banking needs, you come see him. He sponsors our Coach Nick Brown Show. We're going to hear from those two. When we come back, we'll get right to it with the coach.
So many things get started at Pizzeria. You start your party off with a pizza from the pizzeria. You get your celebration started. You get your season started. For a lot of us, our passion with pizza started at the pizzeria, a tradition since 1960s. It's the Pizzeria just off the square in Center. So what do you get with Sabine State Bank? Steve Waters and his staff, they know you. They know you by name. And they celebrate the successes when they finance your dreams. But Sabine State Bank is also a fully modern bank with 24-hour online access to your accounts and services ranging from teller services to some of banking's more complicated things. Looking for a place to grow? It's Sabine State Bank.
All right, buddy, it's time to get right to it. Of course, we're going to introduce you to Coach Nick Brown, who we remember when we played Aubrey in the playoffs a number of years ago. What a game that was, man! What a game! What a great game! Of course, you were there at that.
Yes, sir.
On the other side of the field, but man, what a game what a team! And when I heard we were getting a guy from Aubrey, I was like, man, he's going to be good. Mm-hmm. He's going to be good.
Yeah, it definitely is going to be good.
Because that was a good program. It was one of the most well-coached teams that we had seen. We've been doing this for a long time, but we're just well coached.
Yeah, and I'm from Aubrey. I didn't just coach there. I graduated there in 2003. My family moved there in '97. So over half my life I've lived in Aubrey. And that was an opportunity when I went back to Aubrey in 2016 to coach.
Right.
Aubrey historically has not been a great program.
Right.
Made the playoffs before I was in high school. We made the playoffs in 2001. We were 2-8, won 2 district games, made the playoffs. We were 2-8 going to state. And before that, it was 94. And so the success of the program, it is in spurts, right?
Yeah.
And Coach Keith Ivey came to Aubrey in 2014 and brought in a couple of coaches that I knew. And he said, they called me and said, man, we're building something special here, and we would love for you to come and be a part of it. And my first job at Aubrey, I went from being the offensive coordinator, assistant head coach at a 5A in Dallas to being the cornerbacks coach at Aubrey. Right. I don't know. I didn't just gain. I have never played corner. I don't know if you can tell. I've never played corner. No. So I was an offensive lineman from birth, I think. But that was an opportunity just to get into a good program and be a part of something special. And definitely what I learned over the last 9 years working with Coach Ivey and working with that coaching staff in Aubrey, the admin in Aubrey was very supportive of what we were doing, the changes we made. And now when you talk about Aubrey football, it is a our town is something that it's that program to be proud of.
Right.
And so it's been fun, and that's something that was definitely awesome. Yeah, that game at Tyler Rose, I'll never forget. It was cold, and I'll never forget. I was even in the box, and I was giving our guys crap before the game because I was in the box. I was going to get out of the cold. I think they had the dang AC on in there.
Yeah.
Because I think it was colder in the box than it was on the field.
I
But
think we had like 6 guys in our box trying to pack it in there to stay warm.
Yeah, we stayed warm. Well, let's talk about it. You said you graduated from Aubrey in what year?
2003.
And then you went off to college?
Went to college, started off at Mid-American Nazarene in Kansas City. Actually was recruited by our current defensive coordinator, Coach Craig Hubbard. And he recruited me out of high school to go up there and went up there and had several knee injuries, a couple surgeries, and that's how I got into coaching.
Yeah. Yep.
And so started off as a student assistant working with the offensive line, did all the film, all the equipment, basically everything they didn't want to do, I got to do. So I got to learn from the bottom up, literally.
Yes.
I got to do everything, all the grunt work. And then I followed that staff to Southern Nazarene University in Oklahoma City, and that's where I graduated from, and that's where I started my full-time coaching career.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, I know that, I don't get to call out of the center games, but whenever, I heard that they were bringing an offensive lineman in as a coach, that just puts the big smile on my face, because that's how I am about that. And I do have to ask you, Coach, I know you were going to get into a bunch of things here, but was one of the things that brought you here is because we have breakfast with the linemen on Saturdays?
I've heard about the pancake breakfast, yes. And actually
was the
my first
factor for Coach to
yes.
come
Well, no, and I think my first time on with you guys was a playoff soccer game. And I think
That's
the first thing you guys told me about was the pizzeria.
Yep.
And so, like, that next day, I brought my family, my wife, and my 4 kids. We came and ate here, and it's been a staple in our house ever since.
That's right.
But, yeah, definitely the pancake breakfast. That was actually part of the interview. I said, what special things do y'all do? They said, well, we got a pancake breakfast. I'm sold. Where's my contract? I'm in.
Right there.
So,
That's cool.
right. So after you did your student work and all that, what jobs were you at before you got to Aubrey?
Well, it's a
Wow. You're a coach.
Yeah. So
that.
here's the deal. So in 2010, I was working at Southern Nazarene. I was on my first full-time coaching job. I was about to start my graduate assistant, get my master's, and start coaching. And I always thought I would coach at the college ranks. My wife, Amber, at the time we were dating, she was an athletic trainer there. That's how we met. And so we kind of had this grand plan, which was stupid on our part, obviously. But then my father passed away unexpectedly in 2010 in February. And so I finished the year there, finished spring ball at Southern Nazarene, finished my recruiting class, and actually part of that recruiting class is now the DC at Palestine Westwood, Jonathan Boone. So small world.
Yep.
But we both decided, we were planning on getting married later that year, and so we both decided that it was needed to move back. I'm the oldest, and my dad was a pastor. My brother was at the time 23, about to take over a church, and so I just felt like it was a good thing for me to be there to support him, to support our family, my mom. And I had a little sister at the time. She was 11 when my dad passed, and so I just felt like it was the right thing to do to move back home. And so I got a job. I started my alternative certification in the summer, and at that time it was very hard to find a job if you were going through alternative certification for teaching. And so I got hired 2 days before two-a-day started at Diamond Hill Jarvis High School in Fort Worth, Texas. And if you're not familiar with Diamond Hill Jarvis, they are not known for their football.
Right.
I think we won 1 game in 3 years there. But the kids were amazing. I learned a lot about coaching, more than just X's and O's. I learned about how to love kids, how to coach them regardless of how good they were. We were terrible, but I loved coaching them every minute of it. They worked hard. They tried hard. Bless their heart. We just weren't very good. And so I stayed there 3 years. And then from there, went to Callisburg, up in the north end of right on the Red River. And I got a chance to work with Richie Pinkard, who just retired from Garrison. He was a defense coordinator at Garrison. So I got to work with him. And I learned a lot working for him. My wife, we got to work together. She was our athletic trainer. And then we started having a family. And small schools don't pay as well as the big schools. Right. And so that's how I ended up in Dallas. And then that's how I ended up in Aubrey after that. That job opened up there. So it's I didn't want to be a bounce around guy. Never wanted to be. I wanted to find a spot and stay. Because I had 3 head coaches in my high school career, 4 offensive coordinators, 4 offensive line coaches. I didn't want that for the kids I coached. Right. But the way God kind of weaves it all together, it got me to where I was supposed to be.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. You know, you get those different offensive coordinators, different coaches every year. It can make it kind of hard on programming kids out there to kind of keep something in to roll there. So, but I'll tell you what, though, you know, I mean, I've heard nothing but good things from some of the community out here about you and some of the way the coaches and things are going right now. So, very positive headed into the season right now for the Center Rough Riders. I think the community is good here, and I think you guys have. I've seen, you know, we're friends on social media, so I've seen some of the things that you and your family have had to kind of move around, bounce around, and do. It's been very interesting to see some of the, and, you know, and the kids too. I mean, come from there to here, how are they adjusting to it?
Well, tell us about your kids.
Yeah, for sure. So my wife and I, Amber, we've been married for going on 15 years. We have 15 years this year, and I got married in December. And we, you know, I never wanted to be that coach that would sacrifice my family for my career. I don't want to do that. And so, but when this opportunity came up, it was a no-brainer. And so when I came out in March, that was the hardest thing I ever did. So I've got 4 kids. I've got my son Camden. He's my oldest. He's 12, just started 6th grade at Center Middle School. I've got Grayson. She's 9, and she just started 3rd grade at the elementary school. And then I've got 2 younger ones. I've got Maddie. She's 7, and I've got Tegan, and she runs the whole house. She's a 5-year-old. Of course. And they're both at Moffett. And so I've got kids all over the place in the district. And so dropping them off at school was interesting because my wife works at the middle school.
Oh, right.
And so she takes Camden with her. She drops the girls off with me at the field house because we either have weights or meetings.
Yeah,
so she drops them off at the field house. I run them to where they're going, and then I get back to work. So it's been an adventure. Got pulled over today, so ran a stop sign right in front of the high school, right in front of the police officer. I was like, "Sir, I'm sorry. Just took my ticket and ran." Is all. Yeah. So, but we're figuring it out. So yeah, my kids are amazing. They're your stereotypical coaches' kids. They live in the field house. They love the boys. Their favorite thing to do is come up after practice and bring popsicles and be there after the games to see all the boys. Like if you look at my wife's social media or my social media during football season, there's pictures of my kids with our players.
Excellent.
And so they always find their favorite one, and that's kind of one of the perks of being a coach's kid. Right. And it's always been that. I've got pictures of my son in diapers with kids that I coached when I was in Dallas. And they still call and check on him. You know, so that's when we say that we're a family, like. Our football family, it's a real thing. My wife loves those kids like they're her own. She has them. We'll have them over every week. We got dessert Mondays, right? And so she makes this dessert called Fat Man's Delight, and it's everything bad for you all in one pan.
We may have to do a remote.
Yeah, we do. Hey, let's do a remote there for sure.
Since we don't have to, you know.
Well, we're going to take a little break halfway. We're going to stay on our topic number 1, but we're going to take a break. Hear from JBA Financial, which brings us our coach talk every week. We also hear from McAdams Propane, which is a Rough Rider sponsor. We come back with part 2 of this. We want to talk about your coaching philosophies, and then talk about we want to talk about who has stayed from the prior coaching staff, and then who you've brought in. Yeah. Because I think it's a good mix of folks that stayed and then new guys coming, the new blood coming in. So we'll hear from those guys, and we'll be right back. This is the Coach Nick Brown Show here live on NETSN, brought to you by Sabine State Bank, and we are enjoying the pizza.
Pizzeria.
JBA Financial Services brings you Coach Talk, and there's a reason for that. John Black knows that when you're preparing for an important game, you need a plan, and they'd like to be a part of the details, the X's and O's of that plan. He's put together a good team, a coaching staff that would help you and your family get where they want to go. At JBA Financial Services, they're working to secure your family's future.
The team at McAdams Propane is committed to fueling generations of East Texans, and the work Billy Bob and Lisa McAdams started is growing under Josh's leadership. What began in Center has grown into Livingston and Marshall, Henderson, and Carthage. For propane, it's McAdams.
Welcome back, folks. That's JBA Financial and McAdams Propane. We're live here at the pizzeria. Coach, let's talk about some of your philosophies. I think you've already highlighted one, which is the family aspect of the team. What else are some of your overriding philosophies?
So for us, kind of our team, actually it's our whole program motto is lead the way. You see it on all my social media, and all of our coaches share it and all that. It's kind of been our thing, and it's, you know, we want to develop leaders. And, you know, the L is for loyalty, E is for effort, A is for attitude, D is for determination. And we teach the kids. We started this from my very first day. Like, these are all things that aren't born with. They aren't inherent to you. You have to be shown them, and you have to develop them. You have to actually focus on them. Because those are hard things to do. It's hard to have a good attitude when things are hard. It's hard to give effort when your mind is somewhere else or when you're tired. It's hard to be determined when it seems like everything's kind of stacked against you. It's hard to stay loyal when things get tough. So those are all things that we wanted to instill in the program, because those to me are life skills that every kid needs. And I've always said this since I started coaching. Like, if a kid leaves a program that I'm coaching, whether I'm an assistant or the head coach, and all they can talk about is practices, or they were this, or games were so fun, or this, and they didn't actually carry something that can help them later in life, then I really didn't do my job as a coach.
Right.
If all they can talk about is X's and O's and wins and losses, and they don't talk about that time, hey, Coach Brown picked me up and took me out for pizza because I was having a rough day, or hey, Coach Brown picked me up every morning before weights, or hey, Coach Brown and his family were always there for us, his wife and kids were always at the game. Like, those are the things that matter.
Yeah.
Because that's how you build relationships, and that's, if you're not in this business to do that, then you're not doing it the right way. And so we're very big. That's kind of our overarching philosophy in our athletics program, is that we're not just developing good athletes. That's the easy part, to be honest, because my gosh, they're everywhere around here. Exactly. That's the easy part, is identifying athletes and honing their skills. That's the easy part of coaching. The hard part is when those boys know that you love them no matter what. Win or lose, whatever, you have their best interest in heart, and that you're truly there for them and care for them as a person, even more so than a player.
Yep. I've always said one of the main benefits of this is, in life, we always have that day where we throw 2 interceptions. And it's like the great philosopher Rocky Balboa said, it's not how hard you can hit, it's how hard you can get hit and you get back up. And that's the thing. And I tell people all the time, my coach in high school was kind of a legendary, some people say infamous, Coach Bill Bryant. My law practice, it is, he taught us, plan your work and work your plan.
Yep.
And that is what I do today when I have a case. I figure out my game plan in advance, and then I execute it. And I learned that from him.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many different things that I've learned from the years that I carry into the different things that I do nowadays, from just being around good coaches and all that stuff through the years, and good brothers, and learning that kind of stuff, the familyhood, and just but there's a lot of things that I carry along there from that you wouldn't realize what you do, but you do that.
Yeah, you look like mine is a great mix. I had coaches who, like, hey, I learned what I don't want to do when I coach. I learned that for sure.
Yes.
But they're one of the greatest mentors I've ever had. His name is Toby Perkins, and he was my O-line coach in high school. And then when I got hired on at Aubrey, he was one of the guys that convinced me to come over and called me about the job, and was the first one to text me when I got this job. We still talk almost weekly. And his thing that he told me when I first got to Aubrey was, hey, and something he told the kids that just resonated with me, like, hey, we're going to coach you up. We're going to make sure you're doing it right, but we're also going to love you up. Okay, so his big thing he texts me every week is just coach them up and love them up. They got to, because here's the thing, a kid will play hard for you, but I'd rather him play hard out of love and respect, and out of not wanting necessarily to impress me, but I definitely don't want him playing out of fear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if you're playing scared, whether it's scared of my reaction or scared of what I'm going to say to you, then you're still not playing your best. You still have that kind of timid kind of approach to the game. So I always want kids to know, like, hey, regardless of what happens, as long as you're going and you're going fast, you're going 100%, you're going to mess up.
Right.
I'm not asking for perfection. I'm just asking for all-out effort.
There you go. Yeah, the effort turns into so much that they just really don't understand how much that effort can turn into something big.
Oh, very good. I think that's great. We talked about this kind of philosophies, and it's a little different from Coach Meeks, but it's a lot of the same principles, just kind of packaged in a little different. And hopefully, you're seeing that you already have some of that buy-in from the kids.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So, we, starting off on the very first thing, it's always tough, especially on your seniors. That was the first group I met with, because coaches have different philosophies on how to treat seniors when you come in as a new head coach, right? I know when I was a senior, we got a new head coach, and he basically brought us all together and said, look, guys, this is your senior year. I want to make it special for you. But you also have guys who just want to get those seniors out of the way because they're coaching for growth. They're trying to develop the next class because they know it's almost like you just lost those seniors because they've already been in one program for so long that you want to make sure you're focusing on the younger guys. And so the seniors were the first group I called up our first day, and I said, look, guys, this is your senior year, and you didn't ask to have a new coach. You don't know me from Adam, but just know I want this to be the most special year that you have, because those are the guys that lead your team. And so I wanted to make sure that they were on board first, and I think our buy-in was good. It definitely helped being able to keep some of the coaches on staff that I was able to keep from the previous coaching staff. And again, I tell this story a lot. I'm never going to stop telling it. But my second day on the job, I called Ricky Meeks and I said, hey, I just want to thank you for leaving me a program in such good shape that I didn't have to come in and totally rebuild this thing. I just come in and put my stamp on it and fine tune it. And the kids were already working hard. The kids were already well disciplined. The kids were already, respectful and all the things that you like. But a lot of times when you come into a new program, you don't have those things. And I think Ricky Joe Meeks did an incredible job here. And I told him that after our playoff game, and because the previous year they were 1-9. And then they go 2 rounds deep the very next year. And I just think he did incredible. So I called him my second day and said, Coach Meeks, thanks, man. He's like, what? I said, hey, thanks. You left me you left this program in great shape, and I'm very appreciative of that.
Well, I just know this, that you put your money where your mouth is, because, I mean, you get here in the spring, and we're covering soccer and baseball and all that, and there you are out there, doing color with us in soccer, which I'm sure you were a star soccer player.
Oh, my gosh. I played soccer all the time as a kid. I loved to run. No. So then that was a lot of fun because, my quote that kind of got blown up and kind of became my motto, I guess, was hit the ground running. Yeah. And I'll never forget, like my second week on the job, we had a district golf tournament in Knack. Went to that in the morning. Then we had a junior high district track meet in Palestine, so I went from Knack to Palestine. Mm-hmm. Then we had a district softball game the district track meet for junior high was in Madisonville. Mm-hmm. So I went from Knack to Madisonville back to Palestine for softball all in one day. I put some miles on that district vehicle. But I think it was important, especially during that time, because we were having a lot of success in the spring. Baseball made the playoffs for the first time in a long time. Softball was continually growing, getting better. Boys soccer had a historic season, and so I think that was huge, and it honestly helped me coming in to be able to get around more athletes than just football players. Because what I told the guys when I interviewed and what I told our athletics when I met all of them all at once, like, I'm not just the head football coach. Like, the first thing I am is the athletic director, and I want to make sure you guys know I support all of you. Yep. And I think that shows with the coaches that we've brought in and the people that we've got around our program that we want a total program. We don't just want to be a good football program or a good basketball program. We want our whole athletics program to be something that our kids, our parents, and our community can be proud of.
That's good. So let's transition to your coaching staff. Of course, staying is our brother from a different mother, Jason Ballinger. Oh, yeah. So we're glad to see him staying on.
I really believe that's the only reason he stayed, just because of that. Coach Ballinger, does a great job. I love his attitude. I love the way that he is with the guys, and I think the guys have his respect. He's got theirs. And those guys want to play. He's one of those offensive line coaches. Like, I think you guys can agree. If you find one of those guys, you want to play for. You want to play for that guy.
So he was born to be an O-line coach.
Yes,
he has the demeanor.
You look at him and go, dude, that dude coaches O-line.
That's right. Yeah.
Just come video him in practice. Like, the guy's cold towel around his neck, tucked in his shirt. Like, he's an O-line coach. Yeah, that's what he was born to do. As actually the first guy I talked to when I got here. Because I actually got to meet Coach Ballinger after the playoff game a few years ago, and I never remember seeing a group that was that massive and that aggressive. That's one thing you look at an offensive line a lot of times nowadays. Offensive line has kind of turned passive, and they try and keep their head out of it in their hands, and it's just a different style of play. And I'm an old school O-line guy, and I like physicality. I think that's the difference. How you win games with physicality in the line of scrimmage. If you're not physical up
yes, thank you.
If you're not physical up front, then you can't dictate, and you can't you control the game up front. Yes. And so we want our guys to be more physical and more just vicious than anybody else. And so that's what we're looking for. And he's epitomizes what you want in an O-line coach. Yes. So he was actually the first guy I talked to and was able to keep him here. And he's actually going to serve as my assistant AD. He's our run game coordinator, assistant head coach. So I threw a bunch of titles and money at him, but I kept him here. I was always told, if you want a guy, you make sure you pay him. And so that's what we did with Coach Bally. He has been an incredible asset to the staff, not only in helping me build a program, because, if you a lot of coaches will come in and just wholesale the whole staff. They'll just go, hey, all you guys are fired. I'm bringing in my own guys. I didn't do that. I didn't want to do that because some of these guys have been here a long, long time. Coach Munoz has been here like 3 decades or something. Yeah. Yes. But he's been here he's been here a long time. He's from center, like he's a center guy. Mm-hmm. And so I wanted to give everybody that was here, like, hey, if you want to stay, then let's go to work. If you want to go, no harm, no foul. I get it. I understand it. We're not always going to get along, but I think the guys that we kept, Coach Ballinger, Coach Burleson, Coach Atherton, Coach Munoz, I think those guys are guys making sure I don't leave anybody off.
That's right.
And probably the most important one I was able to keep is Coach Davis, who's our junior high coordinator.
Yes.
He does an incredible job. From our pre-athletics, our 7th grade and 8th grade, he is on it. And he loves those kids. He teaches those kids the right way. And he and I have a lot of the same background and a lot of the same things in common that we want to instill in our athletes. And so keeping those guys on and being able to keep that core group of guys, that was awesome coming in and be able to do that.
Very
and
good.
then we were able to add some new guys.
Yeah, let's hear about that.
Yeah. And so probably and this was
biggest guy.
Yeah.
The biggest guy I think I've seen in a long time. Have you seen this man?
I got
No,
to hire another
he's
center guy,
huge.
Coach Black.
Oh, yeah.
Coach Black is
yeah.
another
Yes,
center
I love
guy.
him.
Now, I remembered when he was a player here.
Yeah.
He's a massive human.
Yeah.
Not many people make me look small. He makes me look
Yes.
not small this way, but like this way.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
still wider than he is, I think. But he is also one of those guys. Like he's always been involved in youth sports. Everyone around here knows him or played basketball for him or played football for him. They all know who he is. They all love him. And when he reached out to me and I got to asking around about, because it's kind of weird when you come into a place you're not from. And then people who are from there want to work. It's kind of an odd dynamic because it's hard for them because they're the ones that people in town are going to go to.
Right.
But that dude is a football coach in Jack, and
Yeah.
he is an awesome with the kids, and he's one that I'm very excited about see grow in this profession.
Absolutely.
And I think the sky's the limit for him.
Right. And what is he going to be coaching?
So he's actually going to be at our junior high, coaching our junior high 7th and 8th grade, and he's also coaching our linebackers on defense.
Oh, okay.
And so
Cody,
we.
gotta love coaching.
With all the transition and all the guys that left and all of that, we were we had some spots that had to fill this way, and I didn't want to hire anybody.
Sure.
And plus, I always like the idea of I really want strong coaches at our junior high because that's your foundation, that's your
Absolutely.
lifeblood. And if you just kind of, a lot of guys will just ignore the junior high because we'll get them when they get to high school. Well, then you lose some of them because after they have 2 bad years in junior high, they don't want anything else to do with sports.
That's right.
And so I think our junior high staff,
Right.
I would stack them up against anybody. But Coach Black,
Yeah. That's how you
yeah.
get 6'4", 250-pound guys playing the trombone.
That's definitely how that works.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's really
Or
good.
they come out and they look like me, like I could play basketball. No, you don't. You're gonna get cut from basketball, but
All right, so who else we got?
So we got Coach Gibson and Coach Sparks are rounding out our junior high staff, and all 3 of those guys also come over after school and they help out with varsity practice. They'll be there at game days, and so they're coaching everybody. I'm kind of jealous of them. They get to coach everybody. And then on the defensive side, we added our defensive coordinator, Coach Hub. I kind of already talked about him. I've known him for 20 plus years. He coached me in college. He's been a great mentor of mine, and it's kind of funny. I told my wife way back when, I said, hey, if I ever get a head coaching job, the first call I'm making is the Coach Hub. At that time, he was coaching at the college ranks. I was like, okay, this will be a funny call, and he'll laugh about it, and then we'll go on about our day. But for the last 8 years, he's been coaching high school ball in Oklahoma. He was at Yukon High School, and most recently he's at Altus High School. And I called him up and kind of threw it out there at him, and we talked back and forth for a couple of weeks. He came out to visit, came to a baseball game, and he was like, yeah, I think I want to do this. And so we stole him, got him, and I'm very excited about our defense. And then Coach Simmons is going to be our head track coach. He's coaching our DBs. He was actually an Atlanta, Texas native. He won state he won state as a track athlete in the 80s.
Nice.
And then he's been at Duncanville and Terrell and Liberty Islay, so he's been at some storied programs and knows what it takes to win and develop good programs. I'm excited to get him. And then Coach Ward, who's also a local legend, or his dad is. He's trying to be. So I got Coach Terry Ward's son out from Tenaha, and he's coming to coach for us. And then Coach Parks, Kyle Parks, I brought him up. He was coaching at the junior high here.
Right.
And he and I met like my first week, and I was like, hey, man, you need to come coach varsity ball with us. Like, I know you, and he loves coaching junior high. He's one of those guys that loves it, understands the importance of it. And but I was able to bring him up. He's also going to handle our recruiting, and so I'm very, very, very excited about the staff that we have. Yeah,
That's right. KP, he's one of mine. He's I mentored him when he was in high school here, and so he's
one in
an
a million.
unbelievable young man.
I mean, he's got our quarterback room running so efficiently. I'm like, and he's a young guy. He's only been coaching for 4 years.
Yeah.
But you'd think he's been doing it for a long, long time. He's awesome. I love it.
All right, well that's a good rundown. That's a good mix of all this. We're going to hear from a couple of sponsors. When we come back, we're going to talk about the other sports.
Okay.
We're going to talk about cross country and tennis and volleyball and all that. And Pierce, I know you've going to be covering some volleyball games. We'll talk about that on the other side of the break. Going to hear from Sandy Cox. Is probably, I think you just put a new commercial in, but we may watch the old one last time.
Sandy Cox is a good State Farm agent. Just ask Drake. He knows. State Farm agents in general are pretty cool, but Sandy Cox has the answers to your questions. Like, what's best for me, for my kids, for my business, for my farm? For all of us in Shelby County, those questions can be answered at Sandy Cox State Farm. So many things get started at Pizzeria. You start your party off with a pizza from the pizzeria. You get your celebration started. You get your season started. For a lot of us, our passion with pizza started at the pizzeria, a tradition since 1960s. It's the Pizzeria just off the square in Center.
Everybody, welcome back. We had a little malfunction there. Of course, it always happens before we get all of our stuff going together. But Wallington's to blame. Remember, because if anything goes wrong, it's Wallington's fault.
Especially since it's not here.
Yeah. Well, even always. It's in the contract.
Just anyways, okay.
Yeah, we put it in the business contract.
But we'd like to thank Ace Hardware of East Texas. They are, again, another Rough Rider sponsor. Ace Hardware has been with us for a long time. It's the Counselor Challenge is still out. If you've got some kind of need, some kind of homeware, some kind of your water heater has a nut that falls off, go to Ace Hardware of East Texas because they got it in stock.
They got everything.
I can promise you they got it in stock. And if they don't, then I'll buy it for you. All right, and so we've got Brookshire Brothers back on here.
Oh, okay.
So I think Brookshire Brothers, where I started, I was a sacker at Brookshire Brothers when I was in high school. Yeah.
Nice.
And you go there for all your it's like you don't have to have barcodes there. So it's what Joe Don or Billy.
They don't mind around in there barcodes.
Yeah, that guy. And Center Tire. Again, I don't know if you've had an issue, Coach, but Center Tire. In Center, we got Joaquin Tire over in Joaquin, but in Center, you run into issues. You call the guys up there. It was Sunday, the Masters tournament. I was driving home and had a blowout on my truck, and then I put a tool to go in to try to get my spare off, I broke it off in there, and I couldn't get it off. So I call up Mr. Burns on the phone and say, "Hey, I am stuck. I am down below Shelbyville, and I need some help." He had a guy out there. Guy was there in 40 minutes.
Sweet.
And actually had the capability of changing the tire, completely changing the tire
right there
off the rim on the side of the road, and had me going again.
I mean. Well, I seen those guys down there. Some of the tires that of the big old tires. I'm pretty sure they can lift your truck up on the side of the road.
Well, another funny thing that happened last year, we had a visiting radio team that had a problem with their tire, and they were like, "Oh my God, what are we gonna do? Who do we call?" And we looked because right down below was
Mr. Burns.
And we said, "Hey, can you help us?" And he said, "Yeah."
Yeah, got him over there, got him hooked up.
Yeah, got it hooked up. So that's Center Tire. They're on Hurst Street. All right, it's time. We move us down in our talking points here.
All right.
To our fall Rough Rider sports.
Okay.
And let's start with volleyball. I'll let you handle this part, Mr. Pierce.
Oh, well, I know that we have
I want to eat a piece of pizza while you do that.
I know we have a new volleyball coach this year, Coach. So tell me a little bit about the new center volleyball coach.
Yeah, so Coach Hall, Takia Hall, she was actually the first hire I made as an AD and head football coach. And that was, something coming in that was a big topic when I was interviewed. The committee, it was just it was something that was needed to be done, needed to be addressed. And so I actually in January went and met with the assistant athletic director and athletic director for Denton ISD. I was doing some job shadowing stuff. I just kind of knew I was wanting to be an AD, and so I went to go talk to people that have been doing it for a while.
Right.
And so, long story short, a couple months later, we had posted that job, and assistant athletic director from Denton ISD calls me and says, "Hey, I've got you one."
Right.
And she said, "I'm telling you right now, talk to her on the phone. You may hire her on the spot." And I was like, "Oh, okay, that's a little much." Anyways,
right.
so she comes down. She drives all the way to Center. She was at Abilene High. So she's from Vernon originally, so not even from this part of the world.
Right.
And she comes out, interviews, brings all this, and everything she laid out from her coaching philosophy, her plan for the program as the girls coordinator, like what her vision was for that program, top to bottom, was almost exactly in line with what. Like we compared notes. Like, oh my gosh, this is almost it was amazing. She was great. And the biggest thing that has just been so evident just in her first 2 weeks coaching the girls was just her energy and her passion for it. And I got a chance to see him live and in person. They did like the center play day was last week. I got to see them play Timpson, and I've never got to see our volleyball girls play. I've just heard stories, and it was exciting to watch. And the girls are fired up about it. And I've had multiple athletes stop me and say, "Coach, thank you for bringing Coach Hall here. Like, she's so awesome." Like, and because not that that's the most important thing, but it is an important thing. But she's doing a great job, and I think they're going to be. It's going to be a totally different team than what's been here before. And I think she's a diamond in the rough, and she is a go-getter. She has high energy, high passion, and she's always going and doing something, and she has a real passion for the girls. And she was at junior high tryouts today, and it was on a game day. She went to junior high tryouts before she left for their game in Shelbyville. So she's the real deal. Very happy that she's here with us.
Well, that's awesome. Well, I know I get a chance to meet her here before too long, but I know that we're going to start in September. Every Tuesdays we do Piney Woods volleyball, and so I've got her scheduled for Ore City at Center on the 9th. And then Hudson at Center on the 7th of October will be the two that we have there so far. But they get the playoffs and everything like that. Maybe we get the chance to follow them into the playoffs and stuff there too. But just a great program, and I think that the girls had a pretty good season last year. They were really working into it, but I don't think we graduated too many seniors from that team.
It was
last
very
year.
young. Yep.
So they're coming up in here, and they were really playing along pretty well. I got to see them in a couple of matches. So I know Coach is taking over a pretty good program. Got a lot of good girls there to start off too.
Absolutely.
So she should be ready to go. And, the volleyball season, like I said, it should be pretty good. We're going to be doing games in Timpson, Center, and Shelbyville every Tuesday night, and most games start at 4:30 or 5. We'll be right here on YouTube, and I'm not the greatest at this. This will be my second year, but I had a lot of fun. And the girls really like it, so that's what it's about. It's about the kids enjoying it, and so we're gonna have it out there for you, and it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Now, see, I'll let you up here. You're false modesty. You were an all-state setter down in Houston.
Maybe back in the day on the beach, some beach volleyball going on.
The cool thing about volleyball is it's kind of like soccer. There's always something going on.
Yeah,
It's constant movement. The ball's always in play, and so there's always action going on. It's a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah.
Let's talk about our cross country again, because we talked about the soccer program and the success it has. A lot of that is encapsulated and begins with the work that they do in cross country.
Absolutely.
Because cross country is starting up right now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they've been going.
They've been going.
They've been going. Yeah, and so we kind of restructured our staff. So Coach Smith, who also is our head girls basketball coach, and our head girls track coach, is also our head cross country coach, and he kind of does everything. But he's very passionate. But basketball and soccer, two sports have a lot in common. You've got to be able to move. You've got to be in shape. And so I love it. Both of our basketball programs and both of our soccer programs tell their kids, okay, if you're not playing a fall sport, you're doing cross country. So that way, when you get in shape, you do that. And you can see that evident when you go and watch our basketball kids run. You go watch our soccer kids play. That foundation they earn in cross country. And the biggest thing is they're getting to compete. They're not just running to run.
Right, yeah.
They're not just running for conditioning. Like they're doing it. They're getting to compete. And our kids have been competing for the last almost 2 weeks now, and they're out there every morning at 6:30 running through the woods. You got to make sure you keep your brights on going down Moffett. They got their little reflectors on, and coaches are out there with them. It's been awesome.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I do believe in that because back when I started my radio broadcasting career, I was in a town in northeast Oklahoma, and the girls' basketball is where I really started it.
Right.
And the girls' basketball coach named Scott Reed. He's in Missouri now. But he was also the cross country coach, so he had the girls out. He said, "I don't want you to do anything but just beat your personal best every time.
Yep.
Just go out there." And when these girls were in state championship, state tournament 9 years in a row, we were in Oklahoma City at the Big House every year in 4A, because these girls in the first quarter, second quarter, by that they were running them up and down the floor. The other team is just on their and that's how that cross country works. And I do totally believe any kid that can get into cross country just to do it for your stamina. And it will help you in every sport that you do. I promise you that.
Well, again, it's kind of like track. It's one of those sports where each week, yes, you're competing, you're wanting to place, you're competing against other schools, but you're also competing against yourself.
Exactly.
I can always get a better time.
Just beat your personal best by 1 second.
Just get better, just get a little bit
That's all you
better
gotta
every
do.
week. And, that's a huge piece of that,
That
too.
is a big thing. Cross country is awesome.
And then finally, our tennis program, the
premier of the state.
The real gym of the city.
Yes. And so that
Hey,
are they underway?
anytime a head coach has the complex named after him and he's still coaching there,
that's something.
that's
That's
huge.
safe.
You know what I mean? That's a big deal. But no, Coach, I mean, he's got that thing. I don't have to worry about Coach Dykes and Coach Cooper. Like they get
Let
it,
them do their thing.
and they do their thing. They've been at tournaments since I think August 1st. They've been doing tournaments already. They're in Tyler today and tomorrow, I believe, for tournaments. And they've got that thing rocking and rolling. Yeah. And that was another fun thing. I get to go to the district and regional tennis tournaments, and those kids are passionate about it.
Watch out, Wallington to track you down into those places.
Let me tell you something, though. Me and Dykes, we are undefeated as a doubles team partners. We have never lost. We're like 12-0. I mean, never lost.
Well, maybe me and Wallington will give y'all a run one of these days.
Yeah, I'm out. That's too much change of direction. I'd tear an ACL again.
I can't. That's right.
Out.
No, but the point is I have to carry Dykes in all of these these matches.
Yeah, you're the ringer. Is that,
the ringer now.
Okay, I got you.
I did not know that.
What's cool about that is, so we actually just hired Coach Dykes' son, Alec.
Yes.
And so he's going to be teaching math at the high school, bless his heart. And but he's also going to be our head golf coach.
Yes.
And then he's helping out with tennis and doing those kind of. I didn't want to throw him into a major sport right away because we want to keep young coaches, in the profession. And so he's going to take over golf. So it's kind of cool having a father-son duo there. And
I'll
they've been
start
working
there
together.
running a clinic at some point over the summer.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, that'll work. That's good. I mean, good fall sports on the way there, and I mean, all over. So especially here in Center, the Rough Riders are looking good going into the year.
Yep.
Things are looking bright, and I know we're still in August. It's still going to get hot, but I mean, we've been fortunate to not have as hot as it could have been, but we do have the outside facility though. So I think even the band has been out there working on that too, and so that's been helpful out there. Keeping everybody hydrated. I've seen a lot of people are dropping off water out there to the kids. And
Actually,
stuff.
shout out to Center Tire. They dropped off like 15 cases of water,
Nice.
we had Mr. Reagan, one of our school board members. His company dropped off like a whole pallet of water, and parents dropping off snacks and people bringing cases of water. And we actually, our new athletic trainer, who I'm also super pumped about. He ordered, we got brand new hydration machines and these giant. I don't know how they work, but they get cold water out of them, and it's very important. But we call it the Rider Dome.
There you go. Yeah.
So that's
nice.
It was the pavilion, but I think that sounds like we're going on a picnic.
You got Rider Dome.
We're going there to work.
Rider Dome.
Yeah. So it's been awesome. It's at least 20 degrees cooler in there.
Yeah.
And like today, as soon as we got to practice, finish stretching lines, we go to our spots, and just one of those weird East Texas just downpours out of nowhere.
Right. Yeah.
And like, you know what? We're dry. And this is awesome.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Well, we're going to take another break. Oh, program note. The person that we actually got, it wasn't Mr. Burns. It was Sean Crouch.
Oh.
It was Sean that was sitting down there.
Sean Crouch.
Who's Mr. Burns' right-hand man.
Oh, okay.
There, he's the one that got on the phone and got it done.
Take
So that's
care
Sean
of
Crouch. For your tire needs, go see Sean Crouch as well at Center Tire.
right.
We're going to hear again. We'd like to thank Sabine State Bank, who we're going to hear from, who brings us this show along with Pizzeria. And we come back, it'll be Larry Pierce time to talk a little bit of a break about and talk about what's going on in the world of the Piney Woods.
Okay.
We'll be right back, folks.
Cross our fingers. Hope.
So many things get started at Pizzeria. You start your party off with a pizza from the pizzeria. You get your celebration started. You get your season started. For a lot of us, our passion with pizza started at the pizzeria, a tradition since 1960s. It's the Pizzeria just off the square in Center. So what do you get with Sabine State Bank? Steve Waters and his staff, they know you. They know you by name, and they celebrate the successes when they finance your dreams. But Sabine State Bank is also a fully modern bank with 24-hour online access to your accounts and services ranging from teller services to some of banking's more complicated things. Looking for a place to grow? It's Sabine State Bank.
Everybody, welcome back. We'd like to take a moment to thank the Forge.
Le Forge.
Danbert on the Square for your workout needs. To Rough Rider Oil and Lube. Keeps your car going. Keep that oil changed. Especially when you have to drive like you do that one day. That's what I have to do, too. I need to get my oil changed every month.
Right.
But that's the place to go do it at Rough Rider Oil and Lube. That's where I go. They're official oil change station for the Piney Woods. For the
I wear
Piney
my
Woods
net
Sports
hat, and
Network.
they get in there, and they know how I am, and they're like, hey, Larry, how's it going?
Right. I think Watson and Sons Funeral Home. If you're met with Mr. Bobby Watson, he's an avid consumer of Rough Rider athletics, especially football season. I remember a couple years ago when we were scoring all the points, but we were giving up points as well. He cornered me at Brookshire Brothers at 8 o'clock in the morning and said, Stephen, what's wrong with our defense? And I said, well, Mr. Bobby, we run so many plays and score so quickly, we put a lot of stress on you. Well, I just don't think that they're – but Mr. Bobby's he will watch this. And because his kids and grandkids taught him how to watch stuff on his phone.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
So I'd like to thank you. Mr. Bobby, thank Watson and Sons Funeral Home again. That's a very difficult time in your life, much like what you talk about with your dad. But the folks down at Watson and Sons can make that a little easier for you. But let's turn it over to Mr. Larry Pierce. Talk about something going on in the Piney Woods.
Oh, yeah, Piney Woods broadcast getting ready to get underway. You know, folks, we have a lot of them. We've got, I think I've got 16 football games broadcast scheduled for this year. I know the first 3 weeks we're going to be Thursday. Well, the first 3 weeks we'll have 2 Thursday games and 3 Friday games in there. So it's going to be pretty good. We're going to start off the season at Beckville on Thursday the 28th, St. Augustine at Beckville, and I think Shires and the guys are going to come down there and hang out. Then we're going to go to Troop and Shelbyville for Friday night, first game under the lights there with me and my buddy Joe. We're going to get it all hooked up and get ready to go. That's coming up, and then we'll be Beckville at Joaquin, Joaquin at Tennehaw, Hemphill at West Sabine. We've got all kinds of games here all the way down through the season.
What you doing on Halloween?
Halloween is the annual Shelbyville Joaquin game, and this year we will be in Shelbyville for that
Coach,
one.
I live down there amongst those people. They don't like each other.
No, I've heard that, actually.
They don't like each other.
I've heard that.
No, that's it. But it's always a great game. It's going to be very good. A lot of games coming in out there as well. I did hear, too, that was very, very happy to hear about the new Shelbyville basketball coach, Coach Cloudy, moving over there. I am happy about that. That is one good thing there.
They're going to get him trained up so when Coach Harrison retires, we can slide him right in. Coach?
I think he's going to make that Shelbyville program so great over there. I did get to go see Coach Jones in Joaquin and talk to him for a little while and tell him how great I thought that run was last year. Got his autographed on my Texas football book right there, Coach Jones. There you go. And so, anyway, we're going to do some things a little bit different this year, too, is on Monday nights. We may not be every Monday night, but we've got a couple of them set up already. We're going to do some Monday nights at the towns where we're going to be for those games. So, like in Joaquin on the 4th, that's a Thursday night. We're going to be that Monday night. I'm going to be at Bites and Brews in Joaquin, and we're going to go down there and bring Coach Jones down, some of the team,
if you're ever
and then invite some of the community to come down and have a big thing, and we'll do just like this.
Yeah, if you're ever in the eastern part of the county, if you're ever over in the eastern part of the county at breakfast time, or you stop at Bites and Brews.
Okay, so we actually like our first week down here is raining all week, and so we couldn't go and do anything. And so I told the kids that, hey, you know we're real close to Louisiana, right?
Yeah.
Nuh-uh. So we took off driving and went through Joaquin. And actually, Bites and Brews is one of those places we've been wanting to stop at. But we're in Joaquin on Sundays for church, and they're never open on Sundays. So we did hit the Rancho though, and Rancho's good.
Rancho's good over there, that's for sure.
All right, sorry, Pierce. I just need to plug up Bites and Brews a little bit more.
We'll be there at about 7 o'clock or so on that Monday before that game there. Also, Shelbyville, Coach Wallace, we're going to be at a new place in town called Plates of Grace. That's good. Just outside of town here on going to Shelbyville and Shelbyville Highway. We're going to be there, and then we'll have Coach Wallace down there for that. I'm going to try to do a few of those. You know, we'll be in West Sabine, we'll be in Timpson, and we'll try to find a couple places we get the coaches to go down and hang out. And I know Coach Barnes down in St. Augustine, he'll be all about it. I love Coach Barnes. I'm looking forward to the Wolves going to have just an awesome season down there. I just think. Anyway, we're going to the Beast from the East is coming out here tonight too, so you're going to be able to check that out on NETSN. We got all kinds of good stuff. We got some new things coming out. We're going to be doing some scrimmages, getting you ready. We got new scoreboards, as you see. We got the new stuff here for the outline and the outlay. And Piney Woods is going to have a lot of fun like we did last year. We got a lot of broadcasts coming up, and we're ready to rock and roll. I'm ready to get after it, man. I'm ready.
That sounds good.
I'm ready.
All right, folks, we'll take one last break when we come back. It's going to be time to talk about a little Rough Rider football right here live on the Coach Nick Brown Show here on NETSN, brought to you by Sabine Civic.
Pizzeria.
And Pizzeria.
So many things get started at Pizzeria. You start your party off with a pizza from the pizzeria. You get your celebration started. You get your season started. For a lot of us, our passion with pizza started at the pizzeria, a tradition since 1960s. It's the Pizzeria just off the square in Center. JBA Financial Services brings you Coach Talk. And there's a reason for that. John Black knows that when you're preparing for an important game, you need a plan. And they'd like to be a part of the details, the X's and O's of that plan. He's put together a good team, a coaching staff that would help you and your family get where they want to go. At JBA Financial Services, they're working to secure your family's future.
All right, everybody, welcome back. It's our final segment. You know, Pierce, you know what it's like? It's like when you talk about your grandma's house at, about 11:30 in the morning, you start smelling those rolls cooking. You start smelling the
pancakes, eggs.
You start smelling that. But no, I'm talking about the lunch. You start smelling it.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, man, in my stomach, your mouth's watering, get all that. That's how I feel right now because we are right there. We are right on it.
So you're drooling ready.
I'm drooling ready for some football, man.
You need to put some pads. You need to put some pads on him. Get out there and let him do a few series and let him see how it's up.
I can tell you, I've got 1 quarter. I've offered this. I got 1 quarter left in me, and somebody's gonna get carried off the field. I don't know if it's gonna be them or gonna be me.
Your wife is over there eating. Don't make her choke while she's eating. You got 1 quarter, okay?
1 quarter.
12 minutes is longer than you think it is.
Well, all right. So, Coach, let's talk about the Riders again. It's an interesting mix of players that you got back. A good senior class, and just a good mix of various guys that have a good bit of varsity experience already.
Yeah, last year Center was very young. A lot of sophomores. Yeah. And even a couple freshmen that got pulled up later in the year. And we're still going to be pretty young, but we do have a very good core of senior leadership and a good core of senior returners coming back. And, one of the biggest pieces is Jamie Jenkins, our center, is a 3-year starter. He's returning to anchor that offensive line. And
he's a 2-time pancake champion.
He is a pancake specialist. He's a surgeon when it comes to pancakes. It's impressive to watch him work. And so I remember watching film from last year when I first got the job, and we were watching film from last year, and then just the progression. And I didn't know it was possible, but the kid's gotten even stronger and more athletic over the spring and summer, and he's primed for his best season yet. So we're excited about him.
And he plays the absolute most important position in all of football, the center.
Yep. That's it. I love it.
Well, he had to learn something new because we do have an under center full house backfield package.
Thank you.
And so all
right, what did I do earlier? Yes. Thank you, Coach.
3 yards and a cloud of dust.
So, like I said, that was so fun. No. So I'm an old wing T guy. That's what I would cut my teeth on. And so that was the first question the kids asked us when we played center a few years ago. I mean, we didn't have the athletes that center had, so we had to control the ball. We had to play some just smash mouth football. And that was the first question. Our kids came up and said, Coach, hey, we're really happy you're here, but are we going to run the wing T? I said, guys, to come here with a group of athletes with this team athleticism and put you guys in the wing tee, I'd be an idiot. So
but you
no,
can do
we're
all
not.
kinds of
that's
cool
the thing, yeah.
things out of the wing.
And so
Yeah.
my deal is though, just being an old line guy. There's just something that is so demoralizing about somebody no matter what, you can't stop them. So
and throughout football, 4th down and an inch, and they're from the shotgun. I just don't understand.
yeah, it doesn't. And not to
30
say,
yards downfield.
yeah, never. So it doesn't make sense to me. Like, not to say we won't do it, because there are some things that we like to do out of the gun. But if I'm on the 1 yard line or the 2 yard line, I would rather snap it here than snap it 5 yards back. Because, like you said, you never know what can happen. I'll never forget.
That's what I call you. Put your big uglies out there. I'm gonna put my big uglies out there.
Who's got the better big uglies? Exactly.
That's right.
That's it.
Yeah, and the big deciding factor for me that just solidified that I'll always have at least one series or package of plays under center was we were playing Gilmer 2 years ago when we had them down at halftime. We were about to knock them off. This year they won state.
Yeah.
We were about to knock them off, and we're driving down the field, and our center just has a moment and snaps that thing like in orbit.
Yeah.
And we go from 2nd and 5 to 3rd and 35, and I don't have a play for that in the playbook.
No.
And then from that point on, it's kind of snowballed on for the rest of the game. But that's when you know what. We're always going to have something to where if we need to, we can go under center. But no, it's a full house, old school, straight dead tee, full house backfield. It's nasty. We're on power and blast and all that stuff.
Well,
So
that's why I like to hear you talk about it, because I'm going to tell you, Coach Young, just talk about the Pine Woods and put it all together, that Dave Campbell said that the 2A district that we do here, Shelbyville, Joaquin, all this, is the toughest 2A district in Texas. That's because of those offensive lines. I think it's a bred in this part of the country. I advise you to go watch film on some of these offensive lines in Garrison, Shelbyville, Joaquin, now even in St. Augustine, and then the center. I mean, that's what I love about this. That's why these coaches. That's why you got the right philosophy. We're going to smash mouth you. If we have that, we got the big guys up front. We're going to power drive you right down the field. That's what those big guys want. I want to go hit somebody.
Well, I mean, it helps definitely having the core, the running back room that we have right now is pretty dang good.
Yes, you do.
You've got Bluford coming back, Villegas coming back. Actually, 2 Villegases.
Yeah.
You got Zai and so Zai played safety last year, kind of brought up late. But I don't know what happened to him between when I got here and now. But you hand him the ball and special things happen.
Oh wow.
And then we got Ziggy Glenn. He's our wide zone outside run guy. He is super fast. Doesn't look. Sucker's this big.
Yep.
We call him a little popcorn fart, but he is a little bitty, but that sucker can run. And so we got a running back room that's I'm very excited about running behind that offensive line. I'm super excited about it.
I bet so.
Have you made any decisions? I mean, and again, we don't want to give away any state secrets here, but I mean, who are we looking at to come in and play quarterback this year?
I thought you were going to.
No, I'll be wide receiver. No, I never said I could throw it. I could catch it.
Yeah. No, we actually have it's an open competition right now. That was the first thing when I came in, and it's kind of the way I've always done. I've done it both ways. I've had one guy named a starter, and he was our quarterback. I've had a rotation working to where if those guys are all kind of the same, let them all get reps, and then by the time we get to district. So right now it's a pretty open race between 3 guys right now. And they've all got good things that they do. They've all got things they need to work on. And the cool part is, like, they're all really good leaders.
Yeah.
They all lead the team. They all are there. They're the first ones there. They're the last ones to leave. They hold their teammates accountable. They work hard. They give a lot of effort. They they watch a lot of film. So they all would be really good QB1s. And so it's a really good problem to have.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm really excited about the things that they can all do. And even if one guy's a starter, we may get crazy and do some 2 quarterback stuff. You know what I mean? So
remember, we did a playoff game last year, or year before at Grapeland Sandy. Wasn't it the Grapeland Sandies? Who was it that run 3 quarterbacks? Or maybe you might not have been. They played 3 different quarterbacks at different times. All 3 of them played both ways all the time.
Yeah. Right.
But sometimes they quarterback, but then they would switch them around and cause issues.
And I say you need a yard. Put Atkinson back there. He'll get it for you. Cody's the man.
He is. So we call it's our nasty package. That's our under center full house backfield. And so he is the fullback in the nasty package. So he's going to have his day. Because I asked the coach, hey, this guy has got to be the meanest, nastiest freaking Terminator that we got. I said, it's Cody.
Yeah.
Perfect. So Cody's our head hunter there in our nasty package for sure.
Nice. Okay. So I've been calling him bad intentions. but I think we're going to switch his name. I think Mr. Nasty.
That's a good one.
Mr. Nasty.
Yeah, so when we call Nasty, it's a whole personnel group, and they get out there and they get after it, and the kids get excited. They love it. And so tomorrow is our tomorrow's practice is our Wednesdays are our situational days. So we'll work third and long, third and short. We'll work down and distance. We'll work coming out. We'll work going in. We'll work all the different stuff. But one of the big things is we have a goal line session to start and kind of set the tone of practice. And we started with Nasty, and so the kids they get excited about it, and they're a little gun shy at first. Like none of the 3 quarterbacks we had ever in their life taken an under center snap. Our center had never he was trying to snap the ball straight instead of turning it. It was just like we had to do a whole clinic on it. This is how you take an under center snap. And it's just a lot of kids. There's a lot of kids these days that don't know. They don't know how to do that. So it was a lot of fun. But it's exciting.
That's a weird feeling the first few times when you have the quarterback's hands up in that area. But you get used to it.
Yeah, you get used to it. That's all good.
All right, let's talk about upcoming. We obviously we know we start in the historic Tomato Bowl against Jacksonville we're on 8/29.
It's on the 29th, yeah.
Right.
Friday night.
But before then, are we going to do some scrimmages?
Yes, sir. So we got 2 scrimmages. One is coming up Friday against Pine Tree.
Okay.
And JV and freshman will start at 5, and then varsity will start about 6:37. We're going to try and let the sun get down a little bit and take our time with that. And then next Thursday, we get to get a real test. Not that Pine Tree's not, but anytime you're playing the returning state semifinalist, state runner-up, that's a good kind of measuring stick to where you really are. As a program, and so it's kind of the tale of 2 teams. Like Pine Tree is an I formation, tied in. They're going to run power, counter, ISO, and they're going to run right at you. And Kilgore is just they're Kilgore.
Yeah.
And they got speed everywhere.
Good run, yeah.
And they're massive up front. Their defensive line is so that's going to be a very good test for us, especially going into a district with Carthage and Athens and Bullard is coming on, and Brownsboro I think is going to be better this year, and Rusk has got a new head coach, and they're going to be excited, and energy is coming in there too. So it's going to be competitive district wise, and I think that's a big part of why we try and play some of these teams in pre-district is to kind of let our guys see. Hey, this is if you want to beat the best, be the best, you got to beat the best. And so playing guys like that and scrimmaging teams like Kilgore and playing teams, in our non-district, North DeSoto is a really good team out of Louisiana. Yeah. Dangerfield is always Dangerfield. Even when Dangerfield's down, they still beat most people. They'll still beat most people. And Madisonville was a really close game for us last year. And I think they've got a lot of their guys coming back.
They had a bowling ball of a runner.
That dude,
he was.
I saw him at a track meet.
Yeah,
he's like a walking muscle. Yeah, he just rocked up, dude. I mean, I couldn't imagine having to tackle that guy.
I went back and was watching that game. He said, "Tell me about it," and I was like, "Good Lord, that kid is just
Yeah, he's just rocked up, man. So
it's
gonna be some good tests there. But yeah, it was kind of cool opening up, in the Tomato Bowl, first game as a head coach. And I actually talked to their new head coach. They got a new head coach as well over there. And it was funny. I watched him play in college. He played at the University of North Texas about the same time I was there. So I got to watch him play there. He played defensive line. And he was an Alvarado guy. He was at Alvarado. And so we have a very similar story. So we were talking. He's like, hey, Coach, they just redid all this at the Tomato Bowl, which is pretty cool. I got to drive by there and see it. They redid the press box and did a bunch of stuff. But I guess for our game, they're bringing in a skydiver with the American flag. And so they're going to fly it in, to the 50-yard line. Yeah, so that's cool. That's going to be cool.
Awesome. I love the Tomato Bowl.
Well, all right. Well, Coach, what a great first show. I mean, I think we covered a lot of stuff, and man, I'm looking forward to the season.
Me too.
And it's just, again, we get excited every year. I'm particularly excited because, again, we have an offensive line-minded coach coming in. God, I'm so excited. And we appreciate you taking time to come visit with us.
I appreciate you guys.
And like I said, we're going to try to get out to cover at least one of the scrimmages, if not both, depending on the schedules and all that stuff. But, Mr. Pierce, what are you going to be doing?
Well, I'm going to hope to get a hold of my buddy Joe, and we're going to see if we could go check out a couple places, maybe Tenaha, maybe St. Augustine this week, and then maybe see where we're at next week because I know a lot of them are on Thursdays. Maybe, and then I'm going to go over to Shelbyville, and I won't be able to, and maybe set up in there just to get some practice ready to go. So just going to hit a couple places. I've already been to Joaquin. So just getting it all set up and ready to go. But you never know.
You never know when Larry Pierce is
going
going to show up.
8/28 will be in Beckville. I know that. 8/28 for opening night. Yeah.
All right, everybody. We'll see you all back here next Tuesday for the second installment of the Coach Nick Brown Show. We will talk more about some more Rough Rider football. We'll see how the other sports are going.
We might want to give it an extra 15 minutes so Coach can eat.
Yeah, that's true.
I should get here early. Yeah. No. So here's the deal. Tonight was taco night. It's Taco Tuesday.
Okay.
And I'm not here to brag, but I make a dang good guacamole.
Oh.
And so I had to run home after practice, make the guacamole, and then come up here.
Okay.
Because my wife won't eat tacos without guacamole, and she was really upset. So you got a happy wife, happy
Happy
life. Got to keep mama happy during
exactly
football
right.
season. So I went home, made the guacamole, and then shot right over here. So I'll be here earlier next time, so I'm not eating cold pizza on the ride home.
I make a really good guacamole. We're going to have to do a little compo one of these days, I think.
Challenge accepted.
That's right.
Challenge
Just some
accepted.
cooking, just some cooking. That's what we're talking about.
All right, everybody. Again, thanks to Sabine State Bank, which sponsors this show, and thanks for Pizzeria for providing the location and the pizzas. The pizza of the night again is the chicken spinach Alfredo, and then of course Coach's
Meat lovers.
special is the meat lovers. So I mentioned my son Keelan's going to enjoy having a slice or two of the meat lovers. I don't know we can get him to eat the chicken Alfredo, but we'll see.
Right.
Anyway, Coach,
Probably
thank
say
you.
no.
We'll see everybody next Tuesday. This is the Coach Nick Brown Show here live on NETSN.
The proceeding was a presentation of Watlington, Shires, and Pierce Productions. We hope you have an awesome and blessed night. God bless America, God bless our troops, and God bless each and every one of you.